Our next set of questions comes from Tidbit Kid, and there's a bunch of them. His first is, what is my favorite feature-length animated movie? Well, there are several that I enjoy, but if I'm forced to make a choice, it would be Aladdin. My favorite comedian of all time, which I believe is a later question, but if not, if it is, I'll go ahead and repeat it. But my favorite comedian of all time is Robin Williams, and Robin Williams and Gilbert Gottfried are just brilliant in Aladdin. What actor or actress am I just obsessed with? Well, that would definitely be actress, because if it was an actor, I would have some issues. But it is a tie between Amber Tamblyn and Mandy Moore. And like I said, I just enjoy both their works tremendously, and I have every film they've ever owned. Go back to the answer to my favorite actors to learn what films you need to see to best appreciate their work. What is my all-time favorite band? Without a single shred of a doubt, Nirvana. Nirvana is not a band, but a lifestyle, which, yes, is part of the reason of where my catchphrase came from. Us Nirvana heads always felt like we were in a league of our own. And Kurt Cobain's death is by far the greatest human tragedy of my lifetime. The next one is one that I could give several answers to, which is, what movie would I like to see on Blu-ray that hasn't yet been released? But I'm going to give you two in an effort to save time, and I might do a video on this subject later on for great films that have never seen a high-definition release that should. But the two answers that jump out of my mind, and probably the mind of everyone else, it's the Star Wars saga and the Back to the Future trilogy. His next question is, what is the first movie I ever saw in the cinema? Well, I don't exactly remember if this was the first movie I ever saw, but since it's the first movie that I ever have recollection of going to see, I will give it as my answer. It is Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And yes, the Wicked Queen, when she turned herself into the stereotypical looking witch and tried to feed Snow White the poison apple, it scared the living crap out of me. His next question is, what is the first R-rated movie that I ever saw? That would be Blade Runner, the director's cut. Next up, his question asks, what is my favorite comedy movie and my favorite comedian? Well, as I said, I already answered my favorite comedian. I thought I'd gotten ahead of myself, and I did. The answer to that is Robin Williams. But my favorite comedy of all time is the Rush Hour trilogy. I think all three of those movies are absolutely brilliant. I watch them at least once a month, if not more, when I need a good heart-belly laugh. And my good pal, Planet Beerwagon, is up next, and he saved me because he already knew what my answer to the Michael Bay question would be. So his first question is, who would be a good choice to handle the new TMNT film? And the answer to that, without any shadow of a doubt, is one of my favorite directors that I mentioned earlier, J.J. Abrams. Everything the guy does is absolute gold, whether it's television, as he is responsible for, in my opinion, the greatest show ever in Lost. He's also responsible for a great show called Alias, also is responsible for a great show called Fringe, and of course everybody knows about Star Trek 2009 and Cloverfield, although Cloverfield did, I must admit, have some hit and misses. But J.J. Abrams is just absolutely brilliant, and I know he would do a great job with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. His next question is, do I like the band Barenaked Ladies? Well, to be perfectly honest with you, I only know of the name Barenaked Ladies from a one-hit wonder that they had back in the 90s, and I don't really even remember what song that was. So, unfortunately, I guess the answer is no. Hopefully that doesn't hurt your feelings, Planet. His next question is a genius one, but also a very hard one. And that is, what villain or villains would I like to see in the next Batman film? Well, I'm going to give you my top 4 choices for a villain. And if they chose any one of these, or maybe at the most 2, because we don't want any more than 2 villains, otherwise we're going to get Spider-Man 3 syndrome. Don't get me started on that. But my top 4 choices would be Penguin, Riddler, Clayface, and a Mr. Freeze done right, not Arnold Schwarzenegger. His next question is another great one, and it is, what is my favorite comic book artist? The answer is Avi Arad, the guy responsible for the Iron Man Extremist series. His next question is, Jay Leno or Conan O'Brien? Team Coco, baby, come on, let's be real. Team Coco. That is the biggest travesty in the history of comediosity. I'm not really sure how to say it, but the guy is a genius comedian, Conan O'Brien, and he got gypped. That's the bottom line. He also asked, do I like pie? And if so, what is my favorite? Well, I do like pie, but I'm a very picky pie eater, and I only eat one type of pie, which I guess would be my favorite, obviously, and that is banana cream pie. His final question is, what is the worst thing I've ever tasted? That would be tapioca. Just a slimy, gooey, icky mess in every sense of the word. I hate tapioca. Pudding, tapioca, whatever you're actually supposed to call it, I can't stand it. My final question in your 500 subscriber, you pick your thank you Q&A comes once again from Elliot Boise Time, who has Xbox 360 or PlayStation 3. Well, I own a 360, but I deeply more than life itself would love to own a PlayStation 3. For more on the reasons why, check out the Planet Beer Wagon My Dream Package 500 subscriber contest entry. And with that, I would like to sincerely thank you all for your love of my work and your support of me. I would not be anywhere without you. And like I said, I apologize if there's been any unwanted technical issues. This is reality according to the Razman. And Razman style, it's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.